Hello, 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 everyone. It is LCID 932 on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. I am here again with Lord Trey Snow. I don't know if you can become a lord with that last name, but we are in the Seven Kingdoms again. Okay, we are here for episode 2 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. If you have not read the books, we got your back. If you have not seen Game of Thrones, we got your back. If you have seen it and you don't know how the heck this is tied to anything, we got your back. Now, I ain't got your back as much as Mr. Lord Trey Snow has, okay? But he got your back and he comes with armor. Lord Snow, welcome in.
Thank you for your kind greetings, my lady. It is a pleasure to be here again this week, and we shall journey again through the world of Westeros and follow this great knight and his
Okay,
squire.
we are following this great knight, his squire, and all the families. Hey Sam, speaking of families, hey Sam, welcome on in. Ari's talking about your getup. Okay. Ari, yes, please come in and hit that like button and enjoy watching Lord Snow. Okay? He's his last name is Snow cuz he's a bastard from the north, okay? That's why the last name is Snow.
Mm,
You could take that any way y'all want to. You could use that any way
yes.
you want to.
Yes, some northern lord had his ways with women from the Summer Isles.
Mm. Okay, that's what we're going with. Okay. Okay, that's
Yes, and if you don't know what the Summer Isles are, people,
mm,
that is the land where Missandei of North hails from.
yes. And Melisandre is the,
Because she
lady of fire, okay? She was the redheaded advisor to Stannis Baratheon. Okay, if you follow Game of Thrones, and if you don't be shy to ask questions in the comment section. We got your back. Okay, we got your back. Absence, good to have you here. My hubby and I enjoyed the storytelling. Girl, the storytelling was there for episode 2. What I also enjoyed watching in episode 2, though I know Lord Snow ain't gonna want to cover it too much, is we saw some weaponry at the beginning. The Sir Pennytree was packing a lot of lances, not just the ones tied to the horses. Okay,
why
they
would
started us
we
off
not
with
cover
a full
this?
mountie. Hmm?
Why would we not cover this? He was a great knight of well renown.
Yes, and his stalk and stem is
Mm,
apparently renowned as
mm.
well.
He was all sword, no shield.
A whole lot of sword, no shield. And what a sword it was. We saw the entire sword. So if y'all aren't seeing it, y'all, that the first 2 minutes you saw all sword, no shield.
Mm. Yes, yes, yes. And he was tilting as we were speaking.
He was. And he
And
walked
just like,
outside and handled his sword.
mm-hmm. And then came back and looked like he already defeated his opponent. Looked like he's going back around too.
Yes. His how can I say it? His bedmate was waiting for another round. Okay?
Mm.
Okay. So Dunk, meanwhile, is talking over and over while we're seeing this. Dunk is talking about what a great night. Okay, what a
He
great
was
night Pennytree was. Sir Pennytree was,
he was
and
great.
he was talking to House Florent,
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking to House Tyrell.
Mm.
Okay, with the golden flower. Now, I made a note that House Florent, their daughter, eventually becomes the wife to Stannis Baratheon, or one
Yes,
woman of their line
yes.
becomes the wife. This is how it ties into Game of Thrones, people. That's the line that Stannis's wife comes from on Game of Thrones. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That was the one who walked away from him. And then you see the one that's sitting there, I know him not.
Mm. Yes, yes. The Florence Veal people, not known for their beauty.
You talking about Stannis's wife?
Well, there has been reports of the house throughout the generations. There's never been a house relevant in with the beauty that they produce, but they do have staunch supporters of whoever they support.
Yes, that they do. They are a very supported house, just like the Tyrells. That's why you see the golden flower there. They feed the people. So that's why the people love House Tyrell. And of course, Marjorie Tyrell comes from the House Tyrell. They're not known for being for smart lords, okay? Their lords are not known for being smart. Tyrell
Mhm.
is strong women who lead that house.
Yes, from the shadows they lead.
Exactly. So Lady Olenna is part and parcel of the whole Tyrell dynasty. Um, then while Dunk is going around, he's still trying to find someone to vouch for Sir Pennytree so that he can, be allowed into the jousting tournament. We hear the horns. Dun 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 dun. We hear the horns, and
We
he don't
heard
know.
the horn.
But Egg starts to get nervous. Why is Egg nervous, Lord Snow?
Could be a number of things why this Zoom lad would be nervous. His reasoning was we had to go back to camp and make sure the camp was in order. See, that which is part of his job. Make sure no one steal the horses and take whatever poor tents he might have. So yes, he was given a knife. That is all he needs. Don't steal nothing. Or I come and chase it down with dogs.
So what happens is that the horns mean the Targaryens are coming. Now,
Mm.
where this tournament is a very, it's not a very grand house, okay, y'all?
No.
What has happened is there has been a recent rebellion, and the Targaryens are basically going around making sure that they do kind of like a whole press coverage. Like, we got to go out there, we got to make sure the people like us, okay? They still love us and they're still on our side. So we are going to make appearances in these different areas so that people see us and feel us. Remember, there are no more dragons. They can no longer burn people to submission. So what do they have? They have their presence. And what a presence it was. They came through with the black flag and the three-headed dragon was red. Egg
Mm.
was spooked and say, I got to go back to camp.
Sir, can I have a sword, sir?
A sword that he could barely carry.
Yeah. I'm a puny lad.
Now, the
Oh,
first the first Targaryen prince we encounter who rides up, Prince Aerion. He sees Dunk and thinks Dunk is a stable boy. The same thing Dunk did to Egg. Okay? And when Dunk tells him he's a knight, he says knighthood has fallen on sad days. What did you think of Aerion and just riding up with his arrogance?
This is what I thought of Arion. We've heard of this Arion Targaryen. He's pain to everyone that meets him, and I understand why. Mm, 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 mm. But he
No,
comes across as a just naughty little Norton. This is who I am. You should know who I am. Hey, servant boy, take my horse. Servant boy, this that. Go get me a wench and a beer. Like what?
I'm a prince of the realm. I'm a
Mhm.
prince. If I call you a stable boy, that's what you are. He's
Yes.
arrogant. He's an arrogant young prince, y'all. And very arrogant young prince. He is brother though to isn't he Egg's brother?
Well, since the audience pretty much should guess and know who Egg is, because like I said, we said it's episode one. We already know all these characters. Every last single one of them was mentioned in the Game of Thrones timeline. They were
Right.
talked about, they were mentioned. So events that happen here holds weight towards the future. So yes, Aerion Targaryen is Egg's older brother. He's actually Aerion is the second oldest.
Right.
It's the second
The
oldest
one
male.
we met at the inn is the eldest, isn't he?
Yes, he is Daron.
Okay. I couldn't remember because you were trying to trip me up. So
Well, the audience is not supposed to know.
and then we have Maester Aemon that is at the Night's Watch.
Yes,
That's
not
also
yet.
one of the brothers.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Right
He's
now,
not. I'm just.
Eamon,
Mhm.
he's studying to be a maester at the Citadel at this point in time. He just left this or go study at the Citadel.
Right.
So
That's why
that's
he
where he
is not a
is.
prince that's missing. He is studying right now. He's into books and he's like, I ain't about this warrior lifestyle. Let me go learn.
Yes.
I just want to, whenever we have points that we could bring Game of Thrones or bring Dance of the Dragons to point people in the connections, I just want us to be able to bring them in. So, as I said, Arion, sorry, sees Duncan say, "Hey, stable boy, handle my stuff," and he says, "Yeah, knighthood has fallen on dark days, sad days. If you are a knight
Mm.
now, but Dunk does calm the horse. The horse was spooked. The horse is like, hey, I don't like the actual stable boy, and actually need him in the face. I don't know how he was still conscious. Okay. A
Mm-hmm.
war horse needs you in the face and you still
Mm-hmm.
conscious. Okay.
That's a war
Um,
horse, not a boy's pony. Mm-mm.
and Dunk, while he calms her down and moves the horse away, and he is talking to the horse, he is greeted by two knights who are king's guards, Sir
Mm.
Roland Crankhall and Sir
Mm-hmm.
Donald of Dunsdale. He said, "Do
Mm.
you ride your horse into battle, or does
What
that
is it?
horse ride you?"
Gradually. This is what we got to talk. Stop and talk about this for a second. I have to show appreciation for three things. Number one, they're showing how Duncan is a dunk. He has a connection to animals. If you
Yes,
notice, he's able to calm them down, speak to them. He's like, just a connection to nature, period. He kind of feels what's going on. He may not be the sharpest tool about what's going on around him, but he's very sharp with what's going on around him. I
right.
hope you understand what I'm saying. That you're like, he's just in tune with just events, nature, and seem like things just move him to either the right place or the wrong place. And the second thing, they always give you indication, a good indication, especially this episode, of how tall he really is. Like he is a giant. Okay. And because Arian Targaryen is not a short guy, actually. He's not a short guy at
You had to
all.
look up.
Yeah. And he's as tall as the horse itself. War horses are known to be very tall animals. And
Yes,
he's standing head to head with a war horse. That's whoa. God, he's tall. He's tall. Look at the tall. The third one, I'm happy about this one personally. We finally see the white knights actually in white armor.
not only white armor, but it also has dragon emblems
Oh,
all
yes.
over the armor.
Yes,
It's
yes.
still considered good to have the dragon symbol because y'all remember when Robert in Game of Thrones became king, he got
Changes the
rid
stacks.
of everything that had to deal with the Targaryen, dragon references. So he kept the King's Guard, but he got rid of all the references. And if you go back and you pause, and I wish I'd taken a still shot of it, you will see everywhere on there it's either dragon wings, claws, or some scales,
Yes.
something to denote the dragons. But
Yes.
Absent says something very interesting here. It said 100% it was interesting to see what the townfolk thought of the Targaryens' rule in contrast to to their knights who came into contact with Sir Dunk. So the small
Yes.
folk actually in this beginning it does show that more the hedge knights were the ones in touch with the
The
small folk.
small folk. Yes. They're about them all the time. They're going from town to town, either seeking service or just traveling. That's why they call hedge knights. Just keeping the hedges, keep town to town. They're not in service directly to anyone unless they swear their service to someone. And
Right.
they become a house knight after that,
So they're basically a freelance sword.
basically.
And they're almost we're gonna get to that later on, Absence. I'm gonna put a star on that. We're gonna get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Um but definitely, they were the ones going through and even laying out the justice of the land as well. So they would be, you know, they're basically local judges. They will come in, they would, say, hey, this is the law of the land, this is what's going to happen. And their word is bond because they're honorable knights. And as you said, the small folk, it's tangible. They could actually see and talk to the hedge knights, and they can't talk to the king's guards.
They were they were always meant to be they were always meant to be throughout West Yorkshire history of rolling police, as you say.
Right.
Especially in the South, because we got to point this out. They're mostly heavy in the South, not that much in the North, because the knights hail from the seven pointed star and the religion of the seven
Right.
gods. You don't have too many northern houses with knights. There's only two houses actually that have knights and follow the seven, as so to say. But mostly they're in the South. They stay in the South, and they're kind of treated as rolling police. As long if someone breaks the law or there's an outlaw or something happens, it's pretty much their job to step in and do something about it. They will either get paid by the town to do so or get room and board for that night or
Right.
that weekend or however long they're there. So it just kind of works out. But it's sad how that can quickly turn into scorn, by small voice. Oh, it's night. Oh, it's a poor
Right.
leech of the land until they need one,
Right.
which is
Right.
funny. Which
Welcome
is
in,
funny.
Michelle. Michelle, you can see this on HBO. This is part of HBO's Game of Thrones series. This is called A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. This is a generation right before Game of Thrones. Okay. So you will see they make mention. These are basically some of them, the parents or grandparents of the people that are on Game of Thrones. That's how close it is. Okay. But we're here.
I had an interesting tidbit fact when you was talking about Lady Olenna. She is born 19 years from right now.
Yes.
She will be born in exactly 19 years. And this story of Dunking the Egg continues on for about good 50, 60 years.
Yes, 50 to 60 years. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Michelle, it just started. This is episode 2. Okay. This is episode 2. To talk about, I just said it, absence. The second son that's missing, actually, the second son that's missing is the one who's drunk that Egg was traveling with. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's missing because one, he probably woke up and realized Egg is missing and he's looking for him.
Is it?
Remember, he has his dragon dreams. That's why
Is
he's
it?
drunk all the time.
I dream of you. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. I dream of you. Stay away. Like, come on.
Right. So yes, that's who else is missing. So we'll get to the part where the fathers are mentioning they're missing, but um, Dunk is told that he does not smell housebroken. Okay. Remember, he did go by the stream and wash. He did wash his clothes, okay? But he's still smelling like he ain't housebroken.
He
And
looks poor. He looks poor. He just does. I can't help it. Listen, sir, you going around saying you're night. I'm be honest, I don't dispute it, but you do have to take a couple of sides in this. If you look at it logically, I understand why a lot of these lords are saying, "I know him not." Even if some of them that I think you probably should remember some of the
right,
stories he's telling.
right,
No, you probably should remember. You just don't want to stick your neck out because I understand the risk involved in that. Because anyone who stick their neck out, and let's say so Duncan does something wrong, or even he fails to impress,
embarrasses you.
yes, it's coming back to you. This is Westeros, y'all. It's coming back to you. Who spoke for this man?
Who co-signed?
Mm-hmm. It's a big deal. And we gotta hark it back to the first episode, even though he was rude about it. Sir Manfred oh crap. Dundarian
Dondarrion, yes. Beric,
said specifically,
ancestor of Beric
Beric.
Dondarrion.
He said specifically, man, we took over 800 footmen into those mountains for that battle.
Right.
How am I to remember one night that took an arrow when so many did? Took
Yes.
rooms. Am I supposed to remember them all? It's harsh words, but it was a good point. You're not going to remember everybody.
Now, one thing gives, Dunk, kind of like hope is that he learned that Sir Donald of Dunsdale is the son of a crabber. Okay.
Grabber's son.
He's a crabber's son. And he said, how does a crabber's son become a knight? He said, how does anyone become a knight?
Mm.
But we learned later on that he was pulling Dunk's leg, but Dunk don't know that.
Was he pulling? I mean, the point still was made. Because he said it was said so cryptically that you had to think about it, but the point was still the point. How does anybody become anybody in this world, really?
But when Dunk is thinking crabber, he's thinking that the
The
dad
poor
is
guy.
actually out there catching the crabs. Dad owns a fleet of crab boats. He
Hey,
ain't no poor crabber.
he may not be poor, but for him to own that fleet, I guarantee you, his father took him out. If you're gonna do this business, you got to learn how to do this business. So you're gonna catch some crab, boy, and then take over.
So that's the gap that I have in the story. Why does the Sir Donald then, become a Kingsguard? He can hold no land, no titles, sire, no children. Are there other Dunksdale's siblings of his?
Probably so, because usually the firstborn is the one who inherits
Right.
everything. So if you have multiple sons, it does become a thing of what to do with them. Usually they get married off into other families, become vassals, go to the Night's Watch, how they do in the North. Sometimes they just go and serve in the Night's Watch. But yes.
Trey is dressed like that because we're talking about Game of Thrones, a branch off of that, a knight of the Seven Kingdoms, and Trey is a knight. Okay, he has
I
his
am not a
sword.
knight.
He's
I
a
hail from the
lord.
North. I
He's
hail
a
from the
lord.
North.
He's a
Yes.
lord bastard
So
because
that
his
is
last name is Snow.
That is Lord Snow to you, Miss Paul.
Hey, Jackson Tabasco.
Well,
I'm
I am not
sorry
a
for
knight.
those.
I hail from the North. I follow the old gods.
Yeah, he is all about Game of Thrones and Game of Thrones whole thing. He is bridging the book to the story. Okay, I know the show. I know some of the book, not everything. Okay, I know the family line. So we come together to give you all the show. So if y'all have questions, please ask. Like, why the heck is he dressed up like that? We will answer it. Okay, we will answer it.
You know who else was a Crabber's son from GOT?
Golly, I lost his name.
Yeah, I just had it too. Just had it too. Crap.
Wasn't the pirate?
Well, he was a smuggler, not a pirate.
He was a smuggler.
Yes,
Yes, wasn't he?
there's a distinct difference.
The Onion Knight, wasn't he?
Yes, the Onion Knight. Yes,
I think
yes.
I knew he was, I knew he said something like that, but I was like,
He was Crabber's
went
son.
different ways. Okay.
His history is a little interesting where his family comes from too. He possibly could be long lost Dustindale. Possibly.
He could be a bastard dust.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like,
because he grew up in Flea Bottom, so he was an orphan child, a poor child. So yeah, he said he was the son of a crabber, but he would have been a real true crabber, getting his hands dirty. Okay.
Yes.
Now Dunk does something. Dunk decides that he can't go through the front door since he smells. He was told that he smells like he's not housebroken. Okay. So he goes and follows the maid through the tunnel and gets in there, hits his head a few times. That's how tall he is. Okay. He's taller than the door. And the daughter to the host, because we are here for this tournament for her name day, and George never named her. George R.R. Martin never named her, but we're here for her name day. All this is happening because she's given her official name. She grown, y'all. She about 15, 16 years old. Okay. But she tells him that the two princes are missing and people think they're probably dead. Okay.
Mm.
And
Wars
then
have
she
been started
spooks
for
him.
less.
She
That's
spooks
very
him.
true statement. Very true statement.
Very true statement. If they're missing, they're probably, no longer with us in this realm. So Dunk is also, when she spooks him a little bit, she gets him to jump scare. Um Dunk is listening in on the Targaryen speaking. Okay?
Mm.
He's listening in. The
Being
lords,
nosy. Let's
the
keep real. He
hand
being nosy. Okay, bro, your big behind is being nosy. What are you doing? Like, I'm sitting there like, really, really don't, bro. You too big to be trying to sneak around listening to stuff. Come on, bro. Nah.
hey
Come
Jaguar,
on.
we're now getting to the good parts, okay? We're now getting to the good parts. So so Dunk, as Trey, as Lord Snow just said, okay? Um he's standing there by the door. He's wider than the door and he's trying to hide behind the door frame, and they notice him. Okay?
Who goes there?
This is not just Targaryens noticing him, it is the hand of the king, his eldest son, and Egg's dad. Okay. So he is called out by Maekar Targaryen for spying. Are you spying
Mhm.
on us? Why are
Mm.
you here? And Dunk
Mm.
enters. He states his plight. He says, "No one will vouch for me."
Mm.
And Maker is like, "What the hell? Why would we be bothered with your foolishness? I'm looking for my two sons." Now,
Mm.
Prince Baylor, who was hand to the king, okay, he does remember Sir Arlen of Pennytree. He does remember the hedge knight that Dunk squired for, and
Mhm.
asked Dunk, as a test of, are you really will you really his squire? What is the true name of the gray lion? And what did he say, Lord Snow?
Darren Lannister.
Darian Lannister of Casterly Rock. So
Mhm.
now we get the Lannister name being brought up in here.
Now, people, hold on now. This is not the same Lannisters from
Not to say,
Game of Thrones. Okay, this is beforehand. Okay, so the, different Lannisters, different generations, things are different. They are if they portray them correctly, it should be very likable because the Gray Lion is coming to
yes,
joust. He comes on tomorrow.
yes.
The
The
Gray
gray
Lion is
lion,
coming. Very
the
popular
gray
man.
the gray lion is popular. Do not judge him based on the Lannisters you have seen on Game of Thrones. He
Mm-hmm.
is supposed to be like Lionel, a very happy-go-lucky person.
Mm-hmm.
But
Honorable man.
y'all remember how he was discussed in a certain way on Game of Thrones by his descendants. They did not like him because he was not a serious man.
Well, actually, I think who you're speaking of is Tywin's father, not the Gray Lion. That'd be their grandfather. That'd be
They
their
also,
grandfather.
I thought they also mentioned that they said he was great, in tournaments and naught else. I thought I remembered that part, but I could be wrong. I could be
It,
wrong.
they both were, well, they both kind of were, but the Gray Lion was a bit different. He was like, you know, nothing, but nothing, no disrespect during his time in rule was talked about
Right.
until his son, Tyrant's father, kind of took over. And then people, because he was kind of weak minded or weak, people took advantage of that. But that happens much later. What I
Right. And
thought
that's
was interesting, this this scene was very pivotal. Yeah, I just added that word on. It's very pivotal, pivotal, pivotal. Whatever,
pivotal. Okay.
pivotal. But it sets up two main characters and a couple of side characters here. In the room, you have Baelor Targaryen, Maekar Targaryen. You have Lord Ashford himself, and you
Hmm.
have the Master of the Games, who Dunk already met. Okay, Dunk overhears them talking, and he he hears Makar kind of in a rough mood. It's very rough. Oh, this fucking house, fucking
Why are we
sir.
here in this dirty ass place?
Like, sir.
My children are missing. My children are missing.
You know what I find interesting? I noticed a lot of people who review the show, they took Makar's roughness a bit differently than I thought they would.
Same, same.
They looked at it as, oh god, he's Targaryen, he must be mad, he's getting mad, get upset. Not necessarily, people, okay?
No.
There are some screw loose, don't get me wrong. But you have to judge most people, not just Targaryens, but by the situations that they're in and then what they do.
Right.
This man's the father. He got 4 sons plus 2 daughters. They're not talked about this much.
Right.
He sent Daron to Ashford Meadow ahead of the main retinue
With Egg.
with Egg, because Egg was supposed to be his squire.
Right.
So his squire, and he wanted him to fight in the tourney.
Mm-hmm.
Now, side note, if you caught the meaning there, which we'll probably get in the next episode, Baylor was kind of telling him, you shouldn't have made Daron fight the tourney.
Right.
You know he's not built for that.
He ain't that kind of child.
Side note, just got to bring this up. We also got the mention of Baylor and Makar's other 2 brothers. Baylor's the oldest, Makar's the youngest.
Right.
You got the other 2 brothers, Ares and Rhaegar.
What was happening is the Targaryens were birthing a lot of boys, a lot of babies, a lot of boys, but they had no more dragons. Okay,
gone.
No, the dragons were gone too because y'all there was a civil, uprising.
House of the Dragons.
The people stormed the entire, cave and cavern, and though many a small folk perished, they got rid of, most of the dragons, and then dragons were kept in captivity, and so they weren't able to grow much larger. So here's the thing, though. Here's what all of y'all should be questioning, and I'm going to question Lord Snow here about. Do you notice, y'all, in this instance, okay, Baelor is what? Black of hair.
Yes.
And the other Targaryens that are showing up here in this moment are white of hair. Now let's talk about, because remember, Game of Thrones, the Stark household, Ned set it off about the color of the hair and the ancestry. Now, why is Prince Baelor's hair brown, Lord Snow?
His is black or brown of hair because his mother was a Dornish princess.
And how, that's how Dorne got what in the fold. Dorne was never conquered.
Yes. They were married,
brought in by marriage.
They were married.
So while we appreciate Ned for going through the ancestry.com, it does not, the color of the hair does not always denote who it is, unless you're trying to say that Baelor ain't really the king's child.
Yeah, and some people have gone down that road. The only problem is Baelor is extremely light throughout the 7 kingdoms. He is known as Baelor the Just. And he's serving as hand of the king right now. And on top of that, yes.
Yeah, I'm just highlighting it because it brings more context into what we were talking about. Yes. So Dorne came in, and, the blood is strong with Dorne. I had to say that, y'all. I'm sorry I had to say it. The blood is strong with Dorne, but long enough for the first son. Okay? First son. And he was called Baelor Breakspear because that's what he was doing, breaking spears. Okay? He was not only considered a phenomenal warrior, he was also, as Trajan said, he was a compassionate and just man. Just like he, remembered, Sir Penetree and allowed Dunk to enter the game. So now here you are, Dunk, smelling like you're not house trained, And he is not only the prince of the realm, but also the hand of the king vouching for you. Is anyone going to say you can't come?
Mm. No, it's over after that. What I find what I find interesting, you have you have Baylor here. Yes, he's the only one black hair. The rest of them came out blonde hair.
Yes.
Well,
Well, except the
silver hair.
drunkard. The drunkard is a little bit brownish, little
Well,
bit
I'm talking
brownish.
about of Deron's sons.
Okay, yes, Darren Sons. Yes,
Of
yes,
Deron's sons. He was the only one that came out dark of hair,
yes.
which did lead to a lot of rumors at first. They did. Wait, is that his son? But
Especially since he's the first son. Did she come with child? That was a
yes,
rumor.
it was a big rumor. Now, what put a lot of the rumors to rest, of course, the king's like, nope, that's my son in the discussion, you know. But what put a lot of the rumors to rest was the event that they also mentioned in last episode and a few times this episode. Baylor and Makor became very famous in the Seven Kingdoms because they fought in the Blackfire Rebellion together. They made the hammer and the anvil. Okay. Now the reason why I bring this up, well, there's twofold. It was because of what they came to, because of the battle strategy they came up with. They was able to defeat Daemon Blackfire, who was a
Yes.
bastard son of Aegon IV Targaryen. Now, and because of what they did, it saved the Seven Kingdoms,
Mm-hmm.
and they banished the Blackfires across the Narrow Sea. Who becomes? I just had their name. Though the people who got defeated and left. Oh my goodness, the Golden Company. They went across the
Right.
Narrow Sea
I didn't know where
and
you were
formed.
going.
Yes, I know. I was trying to get. For some reason the second sons popped in my head, but no, it was the
Right.
Golden Company. They went off to the Narrow Sea because they were exiled knights. They formed the Golden Company. So
Yes.
when they came back to Westeros in the regular Game of Thrones series, it was supposed to be a big thing, but that kind of got downplayed. That was sad.
Because they did not
Very
tie it
sad.
into the Blackfire Rebellion. If people
Yeah, it should have.
understood what it was, they would understand why the Golden
It was
Company
a
meant
big
so
thing.
much.
It was a
Exactly. For
big
them
thing.
to even
It
be
should have been
invited back.
huge. That should have been huge
Huge.
storyline by
Yes.
itself. That's a season
Yes.
by itself. The Golden Company coming
Yes.
back to Westeros. But also, as a visual aspect, we actually saw an example of the hammer and the anvil in season 6, episode 9, Battle of the Bastards. Right when Jon Snow was trapped
Yes.
in that
Yes.
circle, we saw two parts of the hammer and anvil. That's exactly what Ramsay Bolton did to Jon Snow
Right.
when he encircled him. He hit him with the hammer and the anvil. They put up a wall. They used a dead body as a wall, but kept killing people out front. They put up a wall, and then they circled the troops around them. That's exactly what happened on the Red Grass Field with the Blackfire Rebellion. The hammer and the anvil, along with another character, Bud Raven, because
Yes.
he's the one who sets up the anvil along with Makar with his Ravens twos. I can't wait till we meet him seasons later. I can't wait for that.
Oh, oh, you said Blood Raven, not the three-eyed
Yeah,
raven, who's
no,
Rivers, we gonna meet him.
that's the third
This
season if they do it. If it's how it's
if they
tracking,
do it
that's only
right.
season 3. Yeah,
Okay.
it's season 3.
Okay.
Season 3 for sure.
But I wanted us to kind of like stall on this moment because you also see that Baylor is more the level-headed son. He is
Yes,
slow to act.
he's a
While his
thinker.
Right, he is the thinker. He will chew on stuff. He also treats the servants very well. He's saying thank you. He's very hospitable. His brother, on the other hand, though his children are missing, okay,
Mhm.
2 of his children are missing, and that's when I kind of questioned why he was mad, because when Baylor looks at his brother and says, when he looks at Makar and says, yeah, pardon his behavior, his children are missing. I was like, was he giving him an excuse or was that the actual excuse? Because it's
Both.
kind of like, stop
Both.
being an a-hole.
Yes, it was both. If you notice, Baylor's son is also here with them,
Yes.
and he's fighting an attorney. So
Yes.
it's interesting that all of a sudden he's telling his brother, "You shouldn't have made Damon fight in this tournament. That is not him. He is more like their two middle brothers, Aries and Rhaegar."
But here you are pushing your son in the tournament.
Yes. Now, Makar said something interesting to me, and you could take it multiple ways. The reason why he did it, he made a statement to his brother. I don't. These sons of mine are just. I want them to be good. He does say, "I want them to be good men,
Yes.
even if I have to kill them to do it."
I was like, dang.
That was rough, but when you actually think about what he's saying, he's like, "Wait a minute, okay." He knows his children. So far, it seems like since we kind of know who the person is, we got one son who's oldest. He's drunk, whoring all the time, having dreams and acting the fool. No sense of responsibility. You got Makar, who's the third oldest. He's off at the Citadel, study being Maester. So that's somewhat of a disappointment, even though it's looked at quite honorable. It's somewhat disappointment to him. Like, damn, he's a bookworm. He doesn't want to fight or learn how to be a knight or a lord. He just wants to go study and serve people.
They don't see what it's like to have a maester in the family. They don't realize the value of that at
Yes,
all.
and it never will.
No,
But
they never will.
that's a whole nother story because the Maesters, that's another conversation.
Oh yeah, the maesters are shady AF.
I don't trust none of these. The only one is Maester Lupin at the north because he was in the north long enough. He's like, you know what? I learned some things. Okay, as long as you get a far away from the bullcrap that happened in the south, you actually turn out to be a good person.
Right.
That's what we learned in Game of Thrones.
Right.
Go north. You want to be good. Go north.
Right. Don't y'all think that the maesters, because they got them links and chains and they look like monks and they're being nice to people, don't think they ain't got their own politics going on in the undercurrent. Okay.
Oh my
The
God.
maesters were
Cannot be
charged that maybe
trusted.
they were the reasons the dragons went away.
They're called the Gray Rats.
Yes.
They're called the Gray Rats. That's crazy.
Because
But
they're
yes,
everywhere.
yes, I find it interesting. And then he also has Arian, and Arian is kind of you can already catch the vibes from him.
He's a brat.
Yeah, he's like, so he's looking at his sons and he's like, and then you got Egg, of course. Egg is young and kind of skinny and scrawny, and so he's looking at his sons. Is this meant to be my legacy?
Right.
And now look at Baylor's kids. We met Baylor this episode. Looks like his father, but people tend to like him. Very likable. His son's getting praises. Well. His son's getting praises. Interesting. When Baylor makes that comment, he's saying a couple of things to his brother. Like, first of all, bro, calm down. Lord Ashley got nothing to do with this.
Right.
That third. Darren has done this before. Come on, you know this is what he does. You never should have made him fight in this tourney, which is a check. Why did you make him fight this tourney? You just want your sons to show up my sons.
But it's also a check in front of our host. You're not supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, are you speaking to me?
Right, but are you speaking? That's what I was about to say. Are you speaking to me as my brother or as a hand of the king?
Both. He's older. Like, it's funny. Right in that scene, you can tell a lot of things about how the state of House Targaryen.
Yes.
The oldest brother and the youngest brother are, well, I would say a couple of things is contradictory. The oldest brother and the youngest brother are in lockstep with one another in a lot of things, politics, whatever, family, all that stuff. The youngest brother is always in competition with his oldest brother. Extreme competition in everything that they do. Yet they are always seen together, even as kids, even in battle, tag team. Yes, they're together.
That's why they're riding together. Because why didn't he ride in with his kids? Why
The
didn't he
point,
come early with his kids?
well, yeah, he sent them early, and I think Darren also wanted to come earlier, but we kind of starting to see why. Because let's be honest, people, before people ask this question, no, you do not sing a Prince of the Realm alone by themselves. They had to have had a retinue of their own. That means Darren and Egg lost their retinue somehow. That's probably
Well,
how
it's
word
not
got back.
somehow.
Well,
Egg was trying to escape. It's like
they
somehow
both were.
Egg, right? Egg shaved his head. That's probably why his drunken brother could look at him and can't even see him because he doesn't notice that's his brother. But also, with the dragon dreams, you end up waking up and walking out and doing all kinds of stuff. He just walks away from his campsite. That can happen. We've seen that with Helena. Helena, if people weren't keeping an eye on Helena, she would end up anywhere in the daggone castle in Dance of the Dragons.
That's
So
interesting. You brought up Helena, and
because
they,
that
and
that's
they
who.
and they can be very comparable to one another. But I don't think we won't get this to later. I don't think we're not going to get this to later to how we can make a true comparison to how they react to their dreams. Because
Right.
Helena is very spaced out and aloof. That's how she appears to be
Well,
half of the time.
she she is deep in her dreams, and the thing is,
Yes,
she has embraced it. She don't know what they all mean, but she's embraced
yes.
her and considers it. Even though it's a nightmare, it's not something she's trying to run away from.
Ooh, I'm a push back against that. Embrace it or play, because there are times where I feel like she sees things and she doesn't want to see them.
I'm not saying she wants to see them. She doesn't. But the thing is, what she's not going to do is get into her cups about it.
Now that's Daron.
Right. Helene. That's why I say the difference between. That's why I'm saying like she's not trying to run from it. She doesn't want these dreams, but she will tell these dreams. And also, the family does figure, oh, she's a little different, and
I think
eventually they start listening to what she's saying.
what, but this is. I don't think this is a spoiler. Whatever. Honestly, they never listen to what she say, and that's unfortunate.
Right.
They
Right.
never listen.
Well, there's a few
Mm,
there's only a couple times where it kind of jogs somebody's thought
well,
process.
she'll say something, and they'll be like, "Well, and but they just pass it off like, oh, Atlanta just being Atlanta. Then the event happens, but no one have yet to like put two and two together. Wait,
Ahead of time.
Helena said, "Beast beneath the floorboards," and all
Right.
of a sudden, the dragon pop out from under the ground.
Right.
The beast under the floorboards. No one has actually come behind that and be like put it together. Like, wait, whoa, wait, what's going on here? No one's done it, and
The
unfortunately, they
beast
never
beneath the
will.
boards.
Because she's been telling everything from day one, telling it all, what's going to happen. No one listens. The thing is, yeah, I handle it better is always from her standpoint, probably. When I'm looking at it from the outside looking in, people thought Helena was crazy.
Yes, they did.
They think Darren is just a drunkard, which is by
Right.
design by him.
Right.
Because I think he comes. That's my point I'm trying to make. I think Darren came to the conclusion. He was like, because he probably knows his history too. He knows about Helena and the Dragon Dreams, this and that third. He knows what they are. He knows exactly what they are, which we're going to get a probably explanation a couple episodes when he talks to a certain character in depth. So we're going to get it. But I think he came to the decision. I'd rather be known as a drunkard because there's 1,000 of them all over the place than some crazy man that's having dreams.
But you could be a crazy drunk too. I mean, the crazy is in your bloodline. But my
But
thing is, I think he wants to dull his visions too, is
yes,
why he's
that
drinking
never helps. That never helps.
while you take a sip.
Yeah.
Now, after this, because Dunk got what he wanted, Dunk got not only, the remembrance, he got, he got a prince of the realm to co-sign for him to be able to
Big thing.
enter the games.
You notice he co-signed but didn't co-sign. It was kind of
Yes,
funny how he did
yeah, yeah. I
that.
remember him, but I don't remember him knighting you.
Yeah, he's politically. Baylor is politically very smooth,
Yes.
and during this time frame, the Targaryen family had to be. Remember, they
Mm-hmm.
lost all their dragons
Mm-hmm.
during the Dance of the Dragons. The
They
last
just had
dragon
that
actually
war.
died. The last dragon actually died prior, probably should be about 20 years prior to this.
Yeah,
20 or
because
30
their
years
dad
prior
didn't
to
have a
this.
dragon.
Yeah. So, you know, yes. Actually, their father will be the last person who ever seen a dragon alive.
Right.
And it was
I
a
mean, he
little thing.
didn't have a dragon he could ride. Let me put
No,
it
not
that
a
way.
dragon ride, just a dragon,
Right.
period.
Yeah.
So if you notice, there's a reason why Baelor and Maekar and the Targaryens and whole they during this time period they go to a lot of retinues, melees, weddings and stuff. It ain't just because they just
Showcase.
they ain't because they're trying to have a good time. They're being politically astute. Like, listen, we don't have military or nuclear power anymore. For us to keep rule or to keep thinking that we're special, we're gonna have to garner political power more.
Right.
That's why the marriage of Dawn was so important when they finally brought them into the realm. It brought a lot of power with it. Oh, they finally brought Dawn into the realm. The Targaryens did it, blah, 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 without dragons. Ooh, it was a big thing. You know, them going around all these, like, come on, Lord Ashford, I mean, he's not a major lord. He don't nobody
Nope.
knows him. Nobody
It's a
cares.
it's a muddy road.
But everyone, they made an announcement. Hey, Lord Ashford's holding a retinue for his daughter. We're going to attend. All of a sudden, the whole realm shows up. That's why this tournament is packed. It
Right.
wasn't because Lord Ashford's daughter, her name day, blah blah blah. No, because they knew what was happening. They made an announcement,
That the princes will be there.
and that's why people are there now. So this is a prime example of yes, this show is very different, and I love it for it. Oh my god, I
Right.
love this show.
I do like the cinematography. I like they're not doing a whole bunch of, you know, you know, sleight of hand.
Yeah.
I'm really, really liking it. And it's the vocabulary, it's the conversations, it's the people.
Yes, they're
Also,
bringing it down to the small votes.
so when Baylor talks to Dunk, what was the last thing he told him before he walked out?
So Duncan, Sir Arlen was not of your blood. No, sir. Well, you must needs to find a device of your own, since you're not a trueborn son. Only trueborn son can take their father's arms or sigil.
So
Now, if you
you
notice,
you got to repaint that shield, my boy.
but it was something he said. You only by blood can you take your father's arms. That means weapons as well. He's
Right.
letting him get away with the fact that you have Sir Arlen's sword and shield. He let
Right.
him get away with that. He was like, you must need have a signet a sigil of your own to at
Right.
least make it look like yours. What's your branding? You
Yes.
know, who are you going to be known for? You know, and this is a
I'm,
big thing. What are you known for?
who are
You know
you?
what? I was going to ask you, what would your sigil be if you had to make a sigil? What would your sigil be? Describe it to the
See,
people.
I would be, my kind of sigil. I would be offensive to the Targaryens because I am the fire sign that I am.
Well, there
You
are
know,
dragons. There are
no, it
others.
will be, it will be,
Dragons.
it'd probably be a fire. It'll probably be that elm tree on fire.
Oh my
Okay,
god!
so I am the wrath of the realm. That would also be my namesake, the wrath of the realm.
Oh my goodness!
What would your
My
symbol be?
sigil would honestly it would be closer to what Dunk has made, but quite different. It would be the field of dark green grass on a gray sky, with a werewood tree standing in the middle. Its white trunk, red leaves, and red laughing face, with a wolf standing up underneath guard and the moon shining in the sky in the background. That would be my sigil.
Okay, Mr. Snow, because you hail from the north. Um, so he did tell him he needed a new device, but relented and told him to just change the
Just
sigil or the
he let
symbol
him
on the shield.
get away with that one.
He could keep the sword because he could have told him, you need to melt this down. But guess what? If he told him that, he couldn't be in the tournament because it takes a while for him to get a sword forged. Okay.
He could have
He
brought one, but he
knows
ain't got
that.
the coin for it.
Right. It takes a while because it took you a while to get your sword forged, right?
Nah, I just ordered from Amazon.
So so Dunk goes and attends a puppet show.
I hold the power. Okay.
Okay, that's He-Man. We're in a different realm there, okay? I'll be Skeletor, okay?
Oh, don't do that.
Right. We are there where he's fumbling and flirting to request the painted sigil. Yes, from the craft woman Tansel. Tansel is there. She put on her puppet show. It is life-size puppets. It is
No,
not.
this puppet show is intense. I'm like, yes, I'll go to that 3 times a day. That is cool.
Yes, because it's life-size puppets. It ain't the little. You ain't looking at a little box. You're looking at a whole show.
Yeah,
And
they getting it, boy. They getting
he's
it.
getting her to paint his shield, but she says, "Well, what should I paint?" And he's stumped. He's stumped. And Egg is looking at him like, "Dude, you asking her to paint and you don't know?"
It should be the color of sunset.
Yes, the old man likes sunset.
The sunsets. Yes. And now, I find this is an interesting change from the book that I like. Because Egg is not supposed to be there. He's still supposed to be back at the camp.
Making sure nobody's stealing nothing.
Yeah. So, but I like the fact that Egg is here because they still want to build this
bromance.
This bromance buddyship. Listen, this is a buddy cop show with comedy. What's the roasting style? That's what it is. Through this so Duncan is only 17, y'all.
Right. He's
only 17. Yet. He's 17 years old, almost 7 foot tall. It's crazy. And his little Egg, he's 9. Well, 8. He's 8 actually.
Right. Yeah. He came through for him. He said, "Well, and an elm tree."
Ooh. Elm tree. With the big brown with the green leaves. Right down by the river.
And Doug said, "And a shooting star, because that's for luck, right? Right, buddy?"
They're a perfect team. Now, he was trying to help him. He was just like, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Yeah. No. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Right.
Don't say that.
Like, look at him like that. But Tansel is tall, and Dunk tells us she's not too tall.
Too tall. No, you're not too tall for.
And she's like, "For what? What exactly?"
Commonality.
After he's walking out with the shield, and she has to say, "So Duncan, I'm gonna need that shield if I'm supposed to paint it."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he is all the way. It is cute scene of him fumbling and trying to flirt, and they sit down at the picnic table talking about that did not go so well, did it? That did not go well.
It could have been worse. It's okay.
Could have been way worse.
Almost grown man is taking advice about women and how to talk to them from an 8-year-old boy. It was funny. It was funny. It's coming out. He's throwing big words out there. Like, yo, Dunk, your squire is talking. He shouldn't be talking like this. He should not be talking like this.
Tell it.
Commonality.
His vocabulary and his diction is way beyond a poor child.
It's a commonality. That was the way it rolled off his tongue. I went.
That's a clue right there, Dunk. That's a clue.
Man.
I've been told I'm puny for my age. And Dunk is like, everyone told me I'm stupid. And
like you're supposed to say something after that. This is a bonding moment. You're supposed to say, hey, don't worry about that. They call me stupid. I'm not. You're not puny. You're grown. You're supposed to bond. He's looking for the bonding moment. He's like, and well, what business of that is yours? That was my favorite part of the whole show. When Egg went,
what
What?
you. I'm asking you. You
No,
said I'll grow, I'll do good, whatever. Now
no,
people told you to. What happened to the people who called you stupid?
that was something I would do. Like, what? Am I in Twilight Zone? What's going on here? Come on. What's going on? Do. Come on.
And while Egg is wondering what the heck just happened, okay, Lionel Baratheon walks up and
You, Hedge
says,
Knight.
"Go say
You,
the rest of it."
Hedge Knight. Come. What pit did you drinking? Will you heed my call to war? Like, what?
Call it Lionel. Yes. Would you heed my call to war? That was my favorite line.
And Don looking like, huh? The war? What are you talking about? What do you mean?
It's actually tug
Hey,
of war,
so
y'all. It's tug of war. That is the call to war. And that is very important because Lionel going to call to war later on in this series. It's going to be a war that he going to be calling all his men of arms, okay? So y'all, that whole "do you heed my call to war" is going to be asked of Dunk again in the future.
I thought I thought it was just very nice, a good old fashioned tug of war. Just as good old fashioned, having fun. Lords and poor folk are like, hey, grab a line, let's go, let's get it. Pulling them across this line, show your power and strength. And it was just fun time.
It's not just crossing the line, you got to cross the line on the ground.
Yeah,
that's why when they were pulling, Egg put his feet up on the line.
Yeah, can't cross that line.
He can't cross the line in the dirt. His feet did cross the line on the
rope. What shows his cleverness? It shows his cleverness. He put them feet up real quick. And Lionel go, let go. Walk away. I'm thirsty. What? I'm thirsty. Look, I'm thirsty.
Dunk is like, where you going?
Dunk, I thought it was so interesting that he called him by name, which is a little taboo. Lionel, right, where you going, Lionel? But they're slowly building a relationship there. You know, I'm not saying they're probably going to be I'm not saying they're going to call him the best of friends, but they're going to know each other for all their lives.
But again, he does not call him Lord Lionel. He does not. After one night in the tent.
Yeah.
Remember, by the end of the night, he's wearing his crown with antlers.
Came for supper.
And right, I'm here for the food. You know.
That makes sense.
Right. And then Lionel now is allowing him to call him a hedge knight that has not been co-signed upon. Okay. Until now, he let him call him Lionel.
And the funny thing, you heard Lionel calling him, he didn't say Sir Duncan, he said Hedge Knight. So he remembers him, but not his name yet.
Right.
He's just like, Hedge Knight, yeah, you, come on.
Heed my call to war. I was like,
and then they go smack him on the butt. Then he came back to the line. Like, what is it? Football game? What's going on?
He's like, okay, let's do this. Let's get this.
Funny. Another tidbit while Lionel was over there, they was getting drug over. Then you saw Dunk did all the daggone work. Let's keep it real.
You saw him dig in
and pull back a couple of steps and pull that whole line with him. That was a subtle nod to show his immense strength and power.
Yes.
So subtle nod. You know, they're doing little things here. Also, we kind of skipped over this little thing. This probably goes to whether Dunk was knighted or not. Was he trained? He definitely was trained.
Yes, he was.
Even though it was at his old age, you see him training with Sir Arlen in the same manner that Sir Stephen and Raymond Fossaway were training as well.
Right.
One with a war hammer, the other one with a sword and shield.
Right.
You know, same manner. That's how you train your squire. So, and also. And this leads to what comes later. Well, I'll wait till what comes later when you see what a squire duties truly are in many different situations.
Right.
So Dunk, even though he this first time being a knight on his own, he is trained.
Yes.
He does know what to do. It's his first time actually doing it.
And we see that with the flashbacks with him and Sir Pennytree, We're seeing him training eventually at his big grown age. And of course, because Sir Pennytree was also much older, and y'all, he had a cut on his hand that wasn't
Yeah,
healing. So he
yeah.
was
He was
really not in
dying.
the best of health. He
He
was
was dying
still
slow.
training him.
He was dying slow. That was sad to
Yes,
see. He was, you could tell. Yeah, he stayed. Yeah, I think he was right. He always tried to stay in a good mood.
yes.
Just
Singing
push
the
on with
same
it.
bar song.
Just push on with it. Stay in a good mood. And
Now, Dunk does go later on that evening to look for armor.
mm,
He goes around looking for armor. Now, that's another change from the book. The guy who's running the armory is supposed to be small, according to the book.
smaller. Well, the guy was
Smaller.
shorter than him. He's shorter than him.
He's shorter than him, but he wider than him.
No, it should be. He should have been wider. He was short and stock. He described as a short but very stout, stocky man.
He looked like he could take Dunk. That's all I saw.
Yeah, he's short and stocky, but he got weight on him. You know, when I listened to the description, to me, I thought it was a good casting because that's what I imagined. Kind of a burly dude, short and stout, but a good armor. Most armorers are pretty strong because they got to swing a
Right.
hammer
He got to be
all
strong.
daggone day.
Right.
All daggone day. I just wish the scene would have went. That was probably my only critique about the whole episode. There was another one, but I let it go because I like what they did with it. That was my only critique about the whole episode. What?
Sir Arlen was still reckoning the bad, the
Yeah,
bad wishes.
yeah.
Hey, he had a lance on him. That's what we talked about in the beginning.
He
Had a
tilted
lance on
all
him.
time. He may not want to turn it, but he won turn it. Okay,
He was
wants to turn
turning
it.
keys. Okay, he was turning keys.
He was churning. He wasn't turning. He was churning. Okay, but I think Steely Pate. This is actually one of my favorite scenes from the book, but they shortened it up a bit. I wish they
Right.
hadn't have.
They had to. We only got so much
No, we didn't.
time. We got 6
Actually, no,
episodes.
no, don't give me that excuse. We only got so much time. They actually padding out time. Give me more. If you adding stuff, I love the stuff that they added so far, but don't cut short the scenes that's already in the book. Expand on those. Because the thing with Steely Pate, everything was said. The only thing that was actually cut out of the whole conversation was, even though I know it might seem mundane, but to me it was important, is when he's measuring Dunk for his honor. How you just gonna look at him? Yeah, you big, but my arm is bigger. No, Steely Pate actually measures him out. Tell him to take a kneel. Measure across his back shoulder. Makes grunts. Makes comments about Dunk. That tells you a little bit about Dunk himself and maybe how good a fighter he is, because he takes his arm length. Okay, oh, you're right-handed. Oh, okay, I can see you work with your sword on your right hand a lot. It's your shield arm. Let me see your shield arm. Then measure this from the inside. You hold your shield like this most time because you're holding your cup in your muscle like this. It's very detailed. It gives you more into Dunk and in the Steely Pate. I just wish it would win a little longer. Just a little
It's kind of
longer.
like a tailor. A tailor, can tell a lot about a man based on, how he wears his suits and how he measures up. So, but again, the bigger person he's armored for, we don't know.
We don't
I
know.
don't know yet.
We
We
don't
don't
know.
know, but he did have bigger armor there, so it could
Yes.
be, it's rare to have a knight that big. But here's the thing,
They do exist. They do exist from time to time.
Lord Snow, where did Dunk get the money to pay?
He had to sell Sweetfoot.
No, he ain't sell Sweetfoot yet. He gave a little bit of
Oh yeah.
money.
Well, he gave 2 stags.
Well, where did he
Two.
get those 2 stacks from?
The 2 stags came from the money that he had from Sir Arlen when Sir Arlen died. He said specifically he had a little bit of money left. He could sell the horses, but then what would he do then? And then he went to the innkeep. Well, this is a part where I see where you're getting at. This is a part where me as a book reader, I let it go because in the book they tell you exactly how much money he has on him.
So he
And it's
didn't get
counted out.
he didn't get any money from Lionel for winning the tug of war?
No,
Okay.
that wasn't for money. That would have been nice, but no. No.
Because they said it was a couple of stags. I figured Lionel threw him a couple coins.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Lionel doesn't really come across a person. He's a nice guy, but he's also a lord. He ain't kind of person to just be like paying out money like that. He's not known for that.
Understood. Understood. It was just a question. It's like, where'd you get that money? Where'd you get that
He
money,
had
Dunk? Because
Dunk had a
everything else
little bit of
he ain't
money on him.
spending on.
Dunk had a little bit of money on him. Remember, he bought the food at the end in the first episode, so he had a little bit on him, just a little bit. So he's trying to make that last. I think
So
if I remember correctly, he had one gold dragon, four stags, and six coppers in the book. I think it was something like that. Something like
so
that.
here's the
Something like
other part of this. He does negotiate. He walks away. The armor, does decide, hey, I'm
that.
gonna
Feel
give you a
sorry
little
for him.
break on the price. You're a big dude though, okay? And he
Give me
said
the
he was
old
gonna
armor.
bring right, he's gonna bring Sir Pennytree's old armor. And he said, hey, if it ain't too rusted, I may use it as some metal or something.
Mm-hmm.
But his armor is solid. If you take a lance to the face,
Mm-hmm.
you won't go down.
Yeah,
So
no pigs, wings, and stuff on it. Plain old fashioned good steel. Okay,
and
just
again, we have seen a winged pig
mm-hmm.
in a Dance of the Dragons. Okay,
Yes.
we're still talking about winged pigs out here. Now
No
he does
foreign fruit.
say he means to be a champion
Oh
to
yeah.
pay the rest of this armor. And what does the armorer tell him?
Oh, so the rest of these men out here just here to cheer you on. Okay. All right. 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 Okay. Mm-hmm.
That was another funny line because it's like, okay, you mean to be champion. So the rest of these people who have armor, who have used their armor before and know these games, and you, sir, are going to beat all of them.
Okay.
And then
Whatever
I
you
gotta wait.
say.
I gotta wait for my money. So basically, it's like I'm not waiting for my money. So yes, he
Well,
had to go sell Sweetfoot
well, the way that was set up, he wasn't going to have to wait anyway because he told him it buys you a day.
one
It
day.
buys you one day. And after that, I have to sell it to, sell my wares to anybody else. But I'll hold on to the pieces I got. And, it buys you one day. So, yes, he at that time went on ahead and decided, because he knew, remember how the episode starts out, he knew, well, the first episode starts out, he knew he could sell all three horses and live like a
Yes,
king for like 3 years on food. And that would be a lot. So, yes, because horses are worth money.
yes, and they're
Even
good
in
quality.
yeah, horses are worth money. So yes, he can get a good amount. That was the only little when he goes sell the horse was so sad. It was all talking to it and everything. On that tidbit, he was paid the money. This is a small thing. I wish it does the way they make it look like they don't give him much.
Right,
And God's honest true because that's another how this scene could have been padded out. They actually go through and count the pieces up, and it's a whole sack of money. Bunch of
right,
gold dragons, but a whole bunch of silver and some coppers here and there. And he has to haggle with him over the money because one of the silver pieces look clipped. No, the
right.
gold
It looked
pieces.
chipped.
One of the gold pieces got clipped off. And in this world, just like in our real world, everything is. We said this last week. The currency is gold dragons, silver stags, um, copper stars, but it all goes by weight. You know, say a gold dragon is probably worth one gold dragon is probably worth $100. This is put it in
Right,
our terms because of the weight of it. One gold dragon worth $100. A silver stag might be worth 50.
right.
A copper star might be worth 20. Just to give you an example.
But I don't think the scene would have been as intense if he didn't get a little bit and still gave a bit of that to take care of the horse and to treat her well.
Hmm. It still would
So,
it would have had the same meaning. He still would have came out. You know what? No, make sure she has an apple tonight and
yes.
whatnot. It
He
still
said,
would
give
have
her
been
some.
intended.
That's what he said. Give her some oats and an apple as well. He says he's going to. So that was a sad moment. Yes, he got his armor, but everything is going to cost. Nothing is free.
Well, wait,
He's
he ain't got his armor yet
no.
because
I'm
Stephen Payne
saying he
told him.
negotiated for his
Okay,
armor.
he
He
negotiated. He ain't got it
negotiates
yet.
for his sigil to be on his shield.
Which he
He's
ain't got yet.
negotiating all these things. He has not gotten them. He got some money now.
A
Okay.
little bit.
A little bit. And notice,
Actually,
y'all,
he got a pretty good much. It should have been more for Sweetfoot in the
right.
books,
It
but
shouldn't
he
have fit
got
in
a
his
pretty good
hand like
amount.
that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a whole pouch. It's like
Yes.
fat pouch, and he was so nervous about it. It's why I say little things like that. It should have been in the scene because he was so
Right.
nervous about having all that money on him. He's trying to
Yes.
hold around with this pouch and like this is crazy. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
And
Like,
he can't give it to Egg because Egg is
no.
puny. Somebody will just take it off of him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like he doesn't have, a whole cape to hide and even if he could hide the bag of money, it's gonna be jingling in the bag. People gonna hear it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Thank
But
you, Jaguars. Dragon, moon, stag, star, groat, half groat, penny,
yeah,
and half a penny.
yeah, that's true. But you usually don't see the rest of those currencies.
Right. But it is in the realm. Okay, y'all. There are lots of money in the realm. But that was Sweetfoot selling her. Oh my gosh. And he's talking to her. I know he's gonna visit her. Now, why is Egg not here?
This is a good question.
Why is Egg not negotiating for him? You see, this is where you dunk the lunk. Egg seems to me that his brain is where it's at, and he should have been the one negotiating for the horse because he probably gonna get a better price.
Well, it's like I said, it's one of those scenes that I can understand either in the books or here. It's some things you have to see him by himself do.
Right. Do
For
we ever see Sweetfoot again?
I don't want to tell the answer to that
Okay.
because it's kind of I don't want to tell the answer to
Okay,
that.
that's your prerogative.
I
Okay.
just say he does make a promise.
Right. He makes a promise to bite her back once he wins the tournament. Okay.
Does make a promise.
Now he goes to see Egg and he gives Egg a drink where Egg is just like, there's a fly in my
Find my cider. Find my cider. There's a bug in my cider.
And it is here he learns that Sir Donald that he talked
Acting
to
like a
earlier was
prince.
not a poor crabber's boy.
So
His
don't
father
a
owns
Dusky
half of
Dale.
the crabbing fleet.
So don't a Dusky Dale. His father owns half of the crab freaking festivals. What?
But here's
What?
the thing.
How would you know?
Dunk does not look at and realize how much knowledge Egg has.
I like fishing.
How do you know?
It's the way when Sir Duncan goes, if I can be a champion for even half a day,
Yes.
that would be something. And maybe someone take me into the service. Maybe even House Targaryen. Maybe and Egg immediately went. You think House Targaryen is taking head snacks at the news? I'm like, what? What is this immediate switch up? He turned into a little lord immediately and tried to tell him the truth. Like, what world are you living in, sir? I like you, sir, because you seem honorable and you treat me like everyone else. But daggone it, what is happening? Thanks, sir. Thanks.
But I also saw Egg diverting him away from House Targaryen because if he shows up there or close to them with him in tow, his cover is blown.
Can't do that.
Right. And he had to put him off of the scent too, because even if you thought I was a child of some lord, I don't need you thinking Targaryen. That's why he had to dog them out. Like, you really think, and I was hoping for a little slip up. You really think my Targaryens are going to put you in their service?
Family. No, stay away from them for multiple reasons.
So Egg dashed his hopes twice over in this conversation.
What?
Whole bunch of dashing hopes, but then we hear dun 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 dun, and we hear horns.
Uh-oh, it's on. Now, this was interesting. Now, this was a very complete change, but I did enjoy it, even though I thought it was a tad bit convoluted.
Mm.
But for action sense, I get why they did it. First off, they having a jousting at night. That usually doesn't happen. Okay. And you can think of the reasons why. You can't
Right.
see. You can't
Right.
see. What the heck? What is going on? I don't care if you got a whole bunch of torches going on out here. You can't see. Okay. But it was cool. It was a nice change for the book. I'm not mad at it. They did have enough. It was enough torches to be like, okay, we can kind of see, whatever. Okay,
It's a
cool.
warm up. It's a warm up.
Mhm.
It's what they call what do we call a scrimmage?
Actually, no, this wasn't the scrimmage actually,
I
because
know.
this is
That's what
nah,
I had to say this
it
can't
got
be real. It's got
it
to be a
got
scrimmage.
it got serious. Nah, it wasn't
Real quick.
playing. They were not playing out here. I'm like, whoa, they was not playing. My other gripe, this is my only other gripe for the episode, was this 4 lanes to jousting at one time.
One time.
Not,
Come
not
on now.
not to say that it hasn't happened in history, because there are treatises, is what they call. An
Hmm.
example of this, they do have 4 lane jobs, especially if there's a lot of claimants. We can't
Right.
have 5 days of jousting or whatever.
One
Well,
on
actually,
one.
actually they can. But if you have like 50, 60 claimants, we're gonna be out here all daggone day
Exactly.
trying to figure out a champion that's gonna go well into about 2 weeks. We ain't got time for that. They probably only got enough resources to do this for like maybe a week at the most. So
But
we got to get through these days.
when we roll up, Egg is too short, so he is placed on Dunk's shoulders.
So
He
he can
sees
see.
way above the crowd. The Targaryens take their place next to the host,
Mm-hmm.
in the banister where they can get a wonderful view. We
Mm-hmm.
see Baelar's son is in this group, and we
Continue.
also see one of the lords of the river.
The first night we actually see who comes up, Lord Tully. Well, not he's not Lord Tully. He's just a
No,
Tully.
he is a
Just a Tully
Tully,
knight.
a Tully
It's a
knight.
Tully knight.
And he is there for crowd entertainment because he takes a raw fish, he
Ah.
bites into it, and throws the
Mm.
rest of it into the crowd, and they
Ah.
cheer. They cheer
Woo!
for him.
That was nasty as heck. I was like, yo, you gotta be killing me. It's funny. It was nasty as heck, but I was catching all the houses. Lino was in the first tilt too, if you noticed.
Yes, yes. I was like,
Lino was
why
in
are
the
we here?
Lino because he's tilting. Yeah, he's out there. He ain't playing.
But he
Was
was
not
drinking all
playing.
day.
And and that's getting his nerve up. He ready to go now. He's on.
Prince Valar, which is Baelor's son,
Son.
and second in line for the throne,
Mm-hmm.
he's also there, a brown of hair,
Nice armor.
real nice armor.
Nice
Real
armor.
nice. I mean, I love the fact they just showed him to us in like, like we saw most of him. He didn't have any
Mhm.
lines. We saw he about that knight's life.
Mhm.
Okay. For right now, he ain't he about jousting. He in the zone.
Yeah,
Squire
he's in
my
the zone.
lance.
Yes, and this is an interesting moment. You saw Baratheon, you saw Tyrells, you saw Tully's, and there's a few others that are the Dundarians out there too. Yeah, it pretty
The
much
major houses.
everyone that we've seen don't talk to so far was out there. And there's still more to come because a
Yes.
few of them are on the way, like the Gray Lion and everything. There's a few more to come. Also, the Knights, the King's Guard is here. They can joust
Mhm.
if they want to.
Right.
It's things get interesting, and this is just the first night. It's just the
First
first
night.
night.
This is let the games begin. Okay. This is let the games begin. We're gonna warm up with this real thing. Now,
I
both
did
Dunk.
want
Oh,
I
go
just I
ahead.
wanted to explain something with these jousting tournaments. Let's say the tournament lasted 3 days. Dunk is in the tournament. The name is in the list, but it is up to the jouster
Mhm.
when he enters the actual tournament. So he doesn't
Right.
have to enter the first day. That's why he said, second day come tomorrow. I'm in the list right now,
Right.
which is kind of weird. If you see, that's weird how jousting actually works and whatnot. You can pick the day you want to join the tournament. So the thing is, you can look at your competition, let the competition whittle itself out, and come on the second, the third, the last day,
Right. You can.
and
You
try to
can do
win.
that.
But it lessens your chances to win honors and money and horses.
But also it also determines, he just rolled up.
Yeah.
He just got verified.
You got to
You
watch. You
know,
got to see what's going on.
right. So the thing is, even though, he's there, he just got verified. So, he really can't be on the first day because everybody else was verified before him.
Yep. It's
So
very true.
that's one of my things with him is like he was verified late. So yes, the next day, or even if it's the next day, he just got verified. So both Dunk and Egg got a reality check in this first joust. They are both having a little bit of tunnel vision and a little bit of a panic attack.
Interesting. Interesting. And I think it was played that way,
Mhm.
especially for Dunk on purpose. Because you look at it first, wow, like he's really like, oh wow, this is it. These guys are not playing out here. You can seriously get hurt, and
Right?
you're also seeing the skill of some of these jousters out here. It is real. It is dangerous. They are not playing. Dunk, are you up to this? So at first you're looking at him like, is this? Ooh, can I? You thinking, can I do this? Later on, you see there's actually something else that was getting him.
Because it's got to be, because again, Dunk in this moment, y'all, is in shock. Okay? It looks like that. Egg looks at his hands like, can I pass the lance to the knight
Yes.
that is
Now,
required of a squire? Can
now
I
see,
do
that was
this?
to me that was the most important. I took it as the most important factor out of this scene because it ain't just what the knights are doing. You have to look at the his attendants and the squires, what their
Yes.
job is as well. They got to be in sync. It's one thing to say you want to be a squire for someone. It's another thing to see what that squire's responsibilities are when he's serving his sir.
Right.
And Egg was looking. He's very observant. He is looking at what they have to do. Lance, they got to run and grab the lance, run it to their sirs. Meanwhile, other knights are running past them with their horses. They could get hit out there, run over
Right.
real quick.
Right. But here's my thing. Dunk is breathing heavy. He sees a knight get knocked down, swings back on a horse, grabs his shield again, and continue on.
Now, that was way too
And
fancy.
right, that was real fancy. I
That
like
was
that
doing too
though.
much.
That was so,
In armor, in armor. No,
yes, I know
without armor,
it's too
yes.
much. It's too much in armor,
Without armor, yes. In
and the
armor,
horse is coming full speed at him. I know, Trey. It is not. It's not gonna happen.
nah, no.
Okay. But the guy in armor,
But it was
he
cool.
rolls up, he falls off his horse. Okay. But because he didn't get hit by a lance, he's still in the game.
Yes.
Another horse is coming at him. He holds on and swings onto that horse in armor from the ground, not from a step. Okay. And he swung to the side and picked up his own shield. Again, y'all, this is for the crowd, the roar of the crowd. But here's my thing. Egg and Dunk have been to tournaments before. Why is
Yeah.
this a surprise?
It's a difference in watching the tournament than realizing now you're gonna have to be in this. Like it's gonna be you in some hours. It's gonna be you. It's one thing to watch it. It's another thing. It's one thing to watch. I used to play football in high school. It's a one thing to watch people get hit. It's another thing to get hit and then take the hit. It's different. Okay, it ain't just watching. It's different. And he's looking like, wow, I trained a little bit, but whoo, this is rough. This is rough out here. And what I found funny, it led to my slight criticism of the joust, even though it looked amazing. They skipped out to me an important part. Each jousting tournament has its own specific rules laid down by the host of the tournament.
Yes.
You know, the different type of jousting, whatever. So when they went to 4 lanes and it changed, okay, that's just their rules for this tournament. Another thing that's supposed to happen in this particular tournament, which is supposed to be important, just because you get on horse doesn't mean you're defeated. You have to be on horse, and then you have the option to fight on foot.
Right.
You can only be defeated if you yield or is incapacitated.
Right. You cannot go
So
anymore.
yeah, so we should have seen a couple examples, and hopefully we might. Well, actually, we probably won't.
We
But
probably won't. Not in
that's
this
sad.
one.
But it should
Yeah,
have
we
been a
won't.
couple of examples. Yeah, that's sad. We should have seen a couple examples. Some nights going down, and they asking for their swords or axes or whatever, and they
Yes.
go at it on foot. That would have been crazy.
Right. Right.
That would have
That
been
would
crazy.
have. That would have. But also, Egg says, "Hey, put me down." He tell Dunk, "Put me down," because on Dunk's shoulders, he's in full view of his father and his uncle from the stands. He does not want to be seen by his family. He does go to the front of the crowd. He is looking on from the front, but he's like, "Put me down." I don't want to be seen. Because the way it was shot was beautifully done, because not only is Dunk taller than the crowd, now Egg is above the crowd.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That was a worry that I did think about that. That's the reason why he said put me down. But when you watch that scene, 'cause I watched this episode about 3 times now. Yeah, I was in it. I was in it.
I
So
watched it
the
twice.
way,
I ain't do a third time.
yeah, I was in it. I'm looking, and that besides when he first got put on his shoulders and he watches his family comes up on the dais, he never looks at them again. He only says "put me down" when he's watching the squires, and he gets off and he goes to the front and stands up on the fence, and he's looking at them the entire time, the rest of the time that they're there, watching
But you
them work.
see, when he looked at first, when they were introduced, his uncle would have recognized him without the hair.
Would he? Who knows?
Yes, Baylor would have recognized his nephew. I'm
We hope
sorry.
so. We hope so.
I think so. I think he would recognize him. His daddy may not recognize him.
He might.
He might, because
might.
he in it. We don't see him, as a drunkard. But I'm like, also the contrast of Egg's complexion, he stands out. Do y'all notice that Egg is very clean? While Dunk does not look horse trained, Egg his bald head is always clean. He ain't got a smudge. He ain't got no dirt. They were just doing tug of war. His hand was on that muddy rope, and Egg is still clean.
I don't know. There was times I felt like that during the first episode, but this second episode, there were plenty of times when I saw a bit of smudge on Egg. I was like, okay, you're a little dirty now. But for the most part, yeah,
he's keeping himself clean. But
yeah.
Y'all, after they have their minor panic attacks, both of them for different reasons, they are back at camp. Okay, they go back to camp, and Egg is fighting in the Black Fire Bastards.
You okay? Bastard! Ah!
And
I know, yeah. Yeah,
and he uses his vocabulary, his grammar again. Splendid writing tonight, sir. I said, Dunk, splendid writing?
Yeah, it was splendid.
But Dunk is sitting there consuming what this episode was called hard salt beef, okay? Because as a hedge knight, he's traveling, and the meat has got to be secure, okay?
Mm-hmm.
His meat has got to be preserved well for him to go on. I keep asking my husband, is no one looking for Egg? How was he missing for days? They are looking
for him. That's the point. They are looking for him. Right. They have been looking for him for days, actually. Mm-hmm. That's why the Targaryen retinue was actually late to the tournament. Mm-hmm. They were late. So they have been looking for days. And that's why Baylor says he's done this before, he'll turn up.
But has he done this bald?
Well, Egg has never done this. He's on Daron.
Right. Daron has done this. The drunken son has done this before. But now they're
He'll
looking
turn
for
up.
Egg too, and Egg has shaved his head. They're looking for a
Yes,
blonde child.
yes,
Right, right. They're looking for a boy with
yeah.
hair, and he shaved his head for a reason.
And his hair stands out because he has the blonde hair of a Targaryen. Daron does not.
Again, this is why my, conspiracy theory as to why, you know, Lord Varys has his hair shaved constantly. But
He
again,
might just like having a bald head.
hey,
some
and
some
and
people
the
like
fact
being bald.
and his the fact that his balls brought forth a voice from the blue flame. Okay, I'm sorry.
Ah.
I'm sorry. We gonna keep on disagreeing on this. We gonna keep on
I'm not
disagreeing on
saying
this.
that it's not true. I just need a tad bit more evidence. That's all I'm saying.
Why do you need all this evidence and everything else circumstantial? You agree with other
Well,
people.
because some of those circumstantial things, there's evidence to support it.
Well,
You
the
can
fact that
lead
the
A to
fact
B
that
to C.
the fact that the flames spoke back to the sorcerer, and we know that blood of the king brings forth the voices, should be enough, as well as his shaved head. Why is
First of
he
all,
covering? Why is he taking off his hair?
these people are doing blood magic. You can do just about anything when you start messing around
See,
with blood
now it's
magic.
just about anything.
Well,
Okay,
we've seen that. Melisandre was doing magic without any Targaryen blood and this and that and third. She was
I understand,
pulling
but
some stuff.
his blood, but she was doing it. She had to get Gendry to do it. But
Yeah,
anyway,
King's blood.
we King's blood. So again, I'm
Mhm.
saying Varys has the blood of a dragon. Okay, but we ain't
Perhaps.
gonna go there because he shaves his eyebrows, everything. But let's. Both sons are missing. Is the father abusive, or are they just wanderers? Again,
I
eh,
wouldn't call him abusive per se. If you're going by our standards today, yeah, just about every parent we ever see on the show is gonna be abusive.
right.
So Arlen was abusive to Dunk, smacked his behind all the way across Westeros.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the way he learned.
But Egg wanted to go on an adventure, so we don't know how many times he's wandered off. And then the drunken brother, remember, he's done this before, Baylor says. So
As far as I know, Egg has never
Egg
done
has
this.
never, but Egg is Squire too, and it's like,
Was supposed
but
to be Squire to Darren.
but Egg wants an adventure. He's always
He
said he
wants
wants an adventure.
he wants to be a
So
squire. He wants to learn. He wants to learn how to be a knight.
exactly. So I don't think the father is abusive. Remember, he said, I want them to be good men, even if I have to end them. He
Mm-hmm.
may be just a really harsh
So
father.
very
We
harsh.
never we never hear that he's really harsh, meaning abusive to his sons. Okay. Darren is a drunk, so he runs off usually. From what I see, Egg did it to gain experience. Yep. And to go on an adventure. So Dunk that night at the flames while he's eating the hard salted beef. Okay. Hard
Mm,
salted meat. Says, do great knights live in the hedges and die at the side of a muddy road?
mm,
I think not. Sir Arlen lived 60 years and never was a champion, but
mm,
he was good to me. I was not his family, but he kept me as if we were,
mm,
raised me to be an honorable man.
mm,
All these noble lords can't remember his name. I
mm,
am his legacy,
mm.
and we will show them what his hand has
That's
wrought.
wrought. I love that speech. I love
You
that
saw,
speech.
you saw I had to write it down.
That speech. I say yes. Yes, Duncan. Lock in. Lock in. Okay.
We
It's so
ready.
sad that it's kind of sad that I know what's coming. So I'm like,
Right.
oh, but lock in, bro. And either way, even what's coming is coming. Lock in. Be the man that Sir Arlen taught you to be. If no one else will, you must. Which is going to be, that should be his house words, actually. If no one else will, we will. We must. Like, come on.
Or it
He's
could be
going to,
what his hand has wrought. That could be his house name as house,
what his
you
hands
know.
have wrought.
Yes.
It's
Because
not
his
bad.
hands are massive too.
It's not bad.
But again, I like this moment. Not only, Egg really caught on. Egg,
Mhm.
was like, oh, at first he was like, yeah, yeah. But when Egg, you could see Egg in the whole thing, he too was locking in. He too was feeling
Mhm.
the feelings because
Lock
he's
in,
like,
bro.
hey, he's 60 years, he was never a champion. But you know what? He's a good man. Remember, Egg has been hearing from his dad, I want you to grow up to be a good man.
Be
So
great,
here's
be
this
great, be
man,
great.
right? Here's this man saying, I was raised by this man to be a good man, an honorable man, and an honorable knight. And again,
Mhm.
an honorable knight is not remembered by these noble men, but I am his legacy. I said, daggone it. Yes, we are here. Where are the trumpets when you need them? Where's the shooting star? Right. He is
Yeah,
locked
it was
in.
it was a good moment, and I love this voice as he was talking, like
Yes.
deep, resonant. Just they didn't all these lords. This is what he said. All these lords that he served them, and they don't remember his name. I am his legacy. I'm like, woo! Yes, I was locked in for him. I was like, that's what I'm talking about, bro.
Right.
That's what
Even
I'm
though he
talking
was
about.
never a
Um,
champion, I am the trophy. I am his legacy. And even though I
it's
was not his
something.
family, he treated me as if I were. You got the sense of, even though he getting slapped upside the head, there was love there.
I heard this a long time ago, and especially in these days of how we um have learned to raise kids that they're. I heard this, and I've never forgot it. And I do think there's a truth to this, especially when we're just talking about men. Period. Undisciplined boys turn into undisciplined men,
Mm.
and that's a real truth. Harsh statement at times. Undisciplined boys turn into undisciplined men, and you do not want an undisciplined man walking around. I give you an example. If it was a show we're watching now, do you think Arian Targaryen is a disciplined man?
Not what we have seen.
Do you
But
think
he
he's
has been
ever been disciplined?
disciplined.
Has he been disciplined?
I don't think a father like his wouldn't discipline him.
I would argue against that.
I understand how he turned out, but in in what we're seeing of the fruits of that tree, how are you
It
this way?
it depends on what the discipline is.
Right.
But I would make the argument, and maybe I'm speaking behind the scenes on some of this stuff. I know for a fact that Makar talks tough, but he's never actually laid a hand on his children. Like he's
But
never
then how
he
is one just as beloved as he is and a skilled warrior almost like he is? Then where did that come from?
that come from, hey, it's time for you to be a knight. I'm talking him personally. He might have chastised him. You might punish him, be like, you know what? On the morrow, you got to train with such and such for hours on it, and that could be
So you're
discipline.
trying to say like a Christian Cole is who raised his son to be the type of knight he is.
Yeah, he definitely had a good
His
master at
trainer.
arms. He
Okay.
had a good trainer. They all have good trainer, good master at arms, most definitely. Especially being princes of the realm, most definitely. But them himself, I know for a fact, they never. It's it's interesting. You know what? Let's use House of Dragon as an example. So Christian Cole was by that time, especially in that first season, second half, he became he was a older King's guard, but he also became somewhat the master at arms. He was
Right.
teaching all the boys how to fight, but he was cruel to Daenerys children when teaching them
Right.
how to fight.
Because they were
Right?
strong.
If you notice, strong, Lord Strong, so strong, he was watching and he was trying to get tips, but it wasn't his place to teach.
Right.
So that's why he stayed on the outside looking in. Honestly, he probably should have stepped in and actually coached them little boys.
Well, he was coaching them to hate their cousins.
The strong one, not strong. Kristen
Christian
was.
Cole was training them to hate their cousins more so than anything
Yes, I'm
because
saying strong should have stepped in. Either,
he tried to. Remember,
but
he
he can't.
did.
That's my point.
Well, he did at after everything was said and done. He
Yes,
did, try to
and he
protect,
should have. That was the wrong
Right.
way to do it. The right way to do it was to actually, you know what, Sir Kristen? How about I take over the training for the little boys here, and then we'll pit them against each other and see what your training has wrought.
Yeah, but that would mean that, Sir Strong, here's the dynamic of it. And here's what let's talk about them, those two men. Here's a weird dynamic for me, that Strong is the heir of his own house.
Yes.
And Christian Cole is the master of arms.
Yes.
Even though he's the master of arms, he should not hold more weight.
He's Kingsguard.
But even though he's Kingsguard, he is still not more weight than Sir Strong.
But he does. It's weird.
Exactly. My point. Weird. It's like, why does he hold more weight? Because Lord Strong, not only is his father,
hand of the
king, his brother eventually on the small council, he's a master of whispers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why does Christian Cole feel that he can gas up and say, well, I'm Lord Commander? He wasn't even Lord Commander of the Kingsguard at the time.
Not
he was
yet.
just a master of arms. So why was he held more weight than Sir Strong?
That was the interesting thing, because we know he was trying to get him to react, because everybody knew the parents of those kids, supposedly. Yes. Everybody knew what it really was.
This could be their Dornish heritage coming forth again. We don't know for sure.
Yeah, very strong heritage. Yes.
Very strong Dornish heritage.
Woo, bro. The seed is strong.
The seed is a strong.
Very strong. But it's just interesting. He was in a place where he reacted the way he shouldn't have, and it got him all in trouble. There sometimes, especially in this world, ain't any world, there is a way to do things.
But it's another instance of the side piece not understanding their position and playing it well. Because when you were dismissed as a side piece, you could have dropped in rank.
No, he became the side piece of the other one.
Well, but you could have right. But what I'm saying is, the person who did not accept you as more than a side piece could have dropped your rank.
It could have.
They didn't.
You know what? And God's honest truth, this is an interesting thing about we're talking politics and plots and stuff. They couldn't drop him in the rank. You know why? Because he switched to the other team. Now he became part of her. When he got refused by Rhaenyra, or somewhat got refused by Rhaenyra, he wanted to end himself. Honestly, I hate to say that.
Right.
This is wrong to say this, that, third. He should have. It would have saved us a lot of grief. But he didn't. Alicent saved him.
But again, he raised his hand during the celebration. He could have been demoted before the celebration, is what I'm saying. Before the announcement of the engagement, he could have been demoted.
But who did he raise his hand to? That's important as well.
He raised his hand to her future husband's side piece.
And he was a nobody. He was just a side piece. So that's why he didn't get punished for it.
No, but I'm saying before this, he was showing his behind when the engagement was about to be. She should have.
He was crashing out.
She should have demoted him.
That's dangerous to do in this scenario.
Why not? Send him to the daggone wall.
It's still dangerous to do because he's already, he done laid with the princess.
And the princess can banish the man who can say that she does not come to her wedding as a maiden and send him to the wall.
And they're going to say why. And she's going to say, oh, well, I betted her. And then we're going to get to the point of who we're going to believe.
The princess.
Are we?
Because her father would end you for saying something like that. And her uncle.
Here's the problem. In Rhaenyra's case, it was already all bad. Remember, it was already her father, even though he protected her, he was already questioning her innocence because she was seen out with Daemon, even though nothing happened there. He still think it did. He still thought it did. So if it turns out like, it was actually Sir Kristen Cole, You think that helps her? No. It
No, that doesn't
only
help her. That's why you
it
banish him
only
to the wall.
but she doesn't have the at that point in time, she does not have the power to banish by herself. She doesn't.
She she could get her
All
father
banish
or her.
and then she goes to her father, you're gonna have to ask the question because you know how Viserys was. Well, why? He's gonna ask questions. Why? Why was we banished him? So Christian Cole has served well. He's done this, done that. He has to besmirch himself. You're gonna have to come up with a good explanation
I
of
would
why
have.
this boy
I
need to be
would have.
banished.
I would have sick if you didn't want to go to your father. I would have sick Damon on him. Damon would have checked him.
That could
Damon
have
would have
been an
handled it.
option. That
Damon would
could
have
have been an option.
handled it.
This is why I say there's certain ways to handle certain things. The way she
Yes,
handles her Kristen Cole wasn't the right way.
but she was young.
She was.
She was young. They had that
She
moment where they
was.
both saw the white stag. They had several moments that we
Yeah.
saw, but they had other moments in the books. But again, she
Yeah.
did not. She did not see the other repercussions of people, or she didn't follow the other people.
Mhm.
When you are done with that person, they are no longer in your midst.
Well, the problem was she wasn't done with him. That's why I said she mishandled that whole situation. She wasn't
Well,
done with
what
him.
she was done
She
with
just
him when he said he would not continue in this manner.
true. The way she took it, it seemed like she took that conversation's done. Hey, I'm just, we can continue on as we're doing. I talked to Lano, and he gonna have his side. I have my side. We just all good. That's how she thought it was gonna play out.
Right.
No,
And he
she
said
didn't
no.
realize. She didn't realize that no, this type of man he is. He does think a little bit about his honor. It's like, nah, I love you. I want to marry you. I want to do this and that and third. We can go off into the cities and do this. La 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 la. Oh no, I can't do that. Okay, but as a real pimp, that's why she's really not. She was young. She was really
Right.
a real pimp at the
And
time.
Damon did
She
not finish her
didn't,
education.
and she didn't know how to handle
Right.
that type of situation. Like you got to keep because for the rest of the show, she still thought that he was with her. Didn't know he was crashing out over the place, telling
Right.
Allison everything that happened.
Right.
Now Allison to put two and two together. No, it wasn't Damon. It was him. You lied
Right.
to me. Now she in her feelings. It was like, come on.
Right.
This is all in how you handle things. That's all I'm saying.
Foolishness.
All in how you handle things.
Meanwhile, you got Damon who could handle this, and you got the two strong men. You got the strong household.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That's what I said.
technically,
Rhaenyra had power, but she had power of persuasion at most parts. She didn't really have
foresight.
actual power or foresight.
She
Because
didn't
she
have
couldn't go to her
foresight.
dad. And so she
Right.
couldn't go to her dad because dad already. But it is your dad doesn't sing you moon tea, okay? Okay, just because you say and you still a virtuous, nah, boo. Sorry, I love you, but and he loved his daughter, but
Right.
nah,
But he was a realist.
very really like nah, we ain't playing this game. We
Right.
ain't playing this game.
And
Which
the
is
thing
funny
is,
thing. I hate to say this. Okay, I'm gonna say it. We've talked about this. I like House of Dragons, but I have a lot of issues with what they're doing. A lot them issues are not coming out. We've been hearing lately. Ooh, now they're coming to fruition. So I ain't crazy. I'm like, okay, somebody feeling the way I'm feeling. This is weird. And then on top of things, this is what happens when you take a compelling character like Damon and turn him into something he's really not
right.
supposed to be.
Right.
Like you choosing the worst of everything to try to make us not like him, which is weird. This is why I was about to make a statement, especially the books to the show. We've seen this. If you think about it very carefully,
Mm-hmm.
Damon was right about everything he ever said.
Yes, he was.
Viserys. He was right.
Yes.
Everything he said of Viserys. He told him about Sir Otto Hightower and those other lick spittles. Told him. Straight up told him. They're lick spittles. They ain't here to protect you.
Brother, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, they ain't here to protect you. Okay?
Right.
I'm
He
actually
said,
here to protect you.
right, marry me to Rhaenyra, and again,
And
we
he
will
should have
hold
done
this.
it. He
Yes.
should have done it. Crazy that sounds, I know, Targaryen. He should have done it.
But he kept
It would have put a
questioning if his
lot of this
brother
to rest.
wanted his crown while he was alive.
And again, this is why this show, they made that a reality to try to make Damon always want the crown. I honestly, that wasn't. That's funny. That actually wasn't the case. The only thing he do was protect his family and protect his brother. That's all
Yes.
he ever wanted to do in the books.
And he would
Protect his
walk through
family,
the
protect his brother.
mud to do it.
They did show with Lord Corlys that scene at the end of that season when Lord Corlys started talking trash about the king. He's like, I can talk about my brother as I wish. You were not.
Right.
Okay? That told you everything you need to know
Everything
about Damon and if he loves his brother or not. No, I can talk about him. That's my brother. Okay?
Right.
We can talk shit each other all day. It don't matter.
Keep my brother's name out your mouth.
He about to Will Smith him real quick. Like, hold on, boy. Like, watch yourself.
We distant cousins and all, and you married to the queen that never was.
Watch yourself.
But here what gonna happen? You gonna hush up about my brother.
Don't do it.
That was Damon. Y'all, you were talking about the characters
scene.
from Dance as the
Dragon.
Dragons. But again, in that whole story, again, y'all, Dance of Dragons happens way before this Night of the Seven Kingdoms happens a generation before Game of Thrones. So again, we're more closer to the Game of Thrones side. This is like 80 years.
70 years.
Yeah.
80 years.
Yeah.
70 to 80 years.
Before Game of Thrones, before those folks that you see.
And they're still feeling the effects.
The scream I had when Rhaenyra's youngest son got swallowed by the dragon. He shouldn't even be out there fighting for his mom. Well,
he wasn't. He was there as an envoy.
Yes, he was there to bring a message.
That's
why Storm's End said, you cannot do what you wish to do.
Not in my house.
Not in my house.
I can't control what you do after. I can't control what you do outside my house.
Right.
But not in here. He was just there to be an envoy.
Right.
Get a message, and he got chomped on.
He got right as he was coming back home.
Ouch. That's a big ouch.
Yeah. Big ouch. Again, she did make irrational decision. Her father wanted to make sure that Daemon did not take over the throne because he figured Rhaenyra wouldn't reign if Daemon is her husband. He would reign. But again, as you said, he didn't see Daemon for who he was. He was like Varys. I am the protector of the realm. I will protect and do what is necessary to protect my family. He didn't see Daemon as that. He saw him as an upstart. But again, he didn't even see him as such when he came from the stepstones, victorious, wearing that crown, and put it at his feet.
Daemon was never... Yeah, Daemon was in the books and somewhere in the show. Daemon was never afraid to let his wife shine. Any of his wives.
Right.
Any of them.
Except for the one he was.
Except for Rhea. Which I am upset that the show did. In the books, it was proven he was never even close.
Wasn't even near there.
In Rue's Rest when she fell off her horse. And then she actually survived 9 days after she fell off that horse.
Right.
The only reason why she died because she disobeyed the maces and got up, started walking around. The maces told her, you got to stay bedridden. Or, we don't know the full effects of because she was fully cognizant. Cognizant. So you trying to tell me if Damon would have had something to do with this, as they tried to say, she wouldn't have named him? Nah, it was my husband. Real quick.
Right.
No. That was a change for the show. They decided to do that. Whatever.
It could have been another Alessandra sending something to spook her horse. We will never know because he was not supposed to be. He wasn't, according to the books, he was not even near.
He was having dinner.
There.
He was literally having dinner with the whole
amongst people.
Yeah. Witnesses, 30 of them. He was there the whole night.
Yeah.
I hated it when they did that in the show. I was like, no, don't do this. Don't do this.
But you know what? They did. They did.
Oh, they did. They did
So
too. Oh my God.
what I'm going to have a struggle with, and I don't know if everybody will, is that they're doing this A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Then they're going to give us A Dance of Dragons. Then they're going to be interweaving two different, storylines that are massive, hundreds of years apart.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they had done the Night of the Seven Kingdoms after. I wish they had greenlit it after Game of Thrones. It would have made
It
it
was
much
nice.
more palatable. And then maybe we get into the Dance of Dragons. But we're going to be, balancing dragons and non-dragon lore back,
Yes.
one after the other.
This is fine with me. I can handle it, but I can understand how some people might. Oh, this is a lot. Do they have dragons? Don't have dragons when this take place?
Right.
I do feel like a lot of these shows you do, and a lot of shows don't do it. A lot of these shows do have to do better at whatever timeline you're talking about when taking place. You have to
Right.
talk about what year it is, what month it is, put it often so that your audience can keep up
Right.
and differentiate. Because right now it's 209 AC after Conquest.
But
We
here's
only
the
had
thing.
one time first episode when it was. And I doubt people can remember that.
And here's the thing. We have no opening number
No,
to tell us what's going on,
it's
like Game of
very
Thrones did.
different. It's very different. I don't mind it. It was just very different.
Right, I don't
Do
mind
you?
it, but as you said, you could at least put a little bronze symbol in the top
Mm-hmm.
right-hand corner to let me know where this fits.
209 month, whatever.
Yeah. I don't even need a month, but I still need to know it's 209 after the conquest.
For this particular adventure, actually all of Game of Thrones, I would do that. Because
Yes.
remember in the show, a lot of people lost track of what time was which, when did this
Yes.
happen, or they
Yes.
thinking some things happened at the same time and it wasn't. It sometimes it can be weeks later. We just seen the events of weeks later in the next scene, but it happened. It
Right.
just was weeks. So I would put by that time, so in Game of Thrones, it was 329 month,
Right.
January, week, whatever. Even down to the night of the hour, time of the hour, because it's like we wanted something. That's how I would do it. So there would be no questioning of when this is happening, what's going on. You're on track. This is not
Right.
a murder mystery. You really got to put stuff together. These are showing you a chain of events that's happening in this world. That's how the books goes. That's how the show goes. It should go.
So so y'all, we got to buckle up because we are going to be, getting swung left and right based on what is going on here. But Trey, thank you so much for being here, for walking
Yes,
us
ma'am.
through this. Thank you for coming properly attired, even though I am not. Okay. And as you said, this is Lord Trey Snow because he's a bastard from the north. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. If y'all know Game of Thrones, you'll know why. But thank you so much, Trey. Is there anything else? Doug left us with a great speech. Is there anything else you want to say to the people before we head on out?
Our journeys is at an end for this week. And we will be back here again next week to continue our journey through this night and his journey through the seven kingdoms. I appreciate everyone that has gathered, and we hope to see you again at the next tourney.
Yeah, because we gonna be battling it out right here, y'all. Because y'all see, we don't see eye to eye on certain things. Okay, we don't see eye to eye on certain things, but we will
It's
hash it
just the
out in
Lord
front of y'all.
Varys. This is the Lord Varys one. I'm still like, I see your point. Not like I don't see it. I need a tad bit more. It's not that I hadn't thought about it, because I thought about it. I did think about it. Especially at one point in the books, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, hold up.
We gonna have to have a night. We gonna have to have our own tourney about that. Okay, but y'all, thank you so much for joining us. For members, I have a post out. Tomorrow I'm going to put a link down for a member live for us to be at our new hangout spot. You do not need to download anything. You just click and come in the room. There's an app if you want to, download that app, and that is it. But we're gonna have a hangout night tomorrow at the new hangout spot. I will drop the link at about 6:30, 6:45, right before we to hang out at 7 p.m. EST. But y'all, Friday night we have our, LCID Unscripted, where we talk about whatever you want to talk about and the year in music. And we also have Friday night at 7:45. We are watching live together on you watch on your TV, I watch on mine. We're watching Ready to Love, the reunion part 1. Saturday is RuPaul's Drag Race at 5 p.m. EST, and Sunday, myself and Life is Reality, we will be covering the Married at First Sight Australia, the entire cast and what the folks look like and what they're saying, because Australia is already wild and it hasn't even started yet. It starts
Mm.
next week. Okay. So y'all, thank y'all for being here. We'll be here next week again. Monday is Messy Member Monday. And again, Ready to Love recap on Tuesday. That's my whole week, y'all. So thank y'all for being here. And you know what? We shall see you on the next one.